The year 2024 was transformational for me, you could say, in terms of my personal and professional life. In the month of April, I became a father, which was a kind of a feeling that I can't really explain. I suppose it's one of the things that you can't really know what it feels like unless you experience it yourself. So that was in the month of April. That's what happened. I became a father. I also this year finally decided that I was going to have my own personal workspace. For the past 2.5, 3 years, I had been working from the TV room, from my bedroom, from the lawn, the garden, everything. But in the end, I realized that instead of turning every single space of my house into a workspace, which was never sustainable, I should have my own space. So that is when, in the month of June, I decided that I was going to have my own personal workspace. So we constructed it here. Initially, this is what it looked like, but with time, with a few changes here and there, now the setup that you see that I'm recording on right now is what it looks like from this one angle, at least. But I've realized that this sort of a thing, like having your own workspace or having a podcast studio, the more time you give it, the more iterations you make, let's say, is how it slowly gets better. It's not like you're going to invest like a lot of money once and then everything's going to be cool. No, because you have to realize that once you're trying to create like a workspace, it has to fit your needs. You have to be comfortable in it, and it needs to feel like home when it comes to work, if that makes any sense. So that was one other thing that happened. In terms of my professional life, my jobs or my business, the year started as usual, 2024. I was still employed by a startup based in London. I was working remotely with them, but there was a time, particularly in the month of April, May, where I decided that, I needed something else. So that's when I pitched another startup. We had a month-long interview process, you could say, with a sample project and everything. Everything was good. They hired me. I thought that was my dream role. At the same time, once I got employed by them, I realized that I needed to do something of my own as well on the side. So that is when Bari came into being in the month of May. When I joined them, I told them I was going to start my own consultancy to do like a side gig, which is Bari, the one that you see today in my business on LinkedIn. But that didn't go well. They thought it was going to be something very small, but when I made the announcement on LinkedIn, they thought that it was in direct competition with the services they provided, which kind of makes sense. It was a conflict of interest, so I had to shut it down because they indirectly told me you could either do that or the job, so decide. I obviously took the safest route and I took the job and I stopped pursuing Bari altogether. Now, this was May, but the month of May, it happened. June, July, I realized I was doing all of this for the wrong reasons. I was at the new startup working, it was good, but then I realized in the month of July, you could say I had to make a decision. I could either stay with that business or I could start my own thing, go full time on it. I had to make a choice. So the choice I made was I was going to quit, and which I did. I quit that new role that I thought was my dream role, and I started my own business called Bali. Now officially it's been 8 months since I've been involved with Bali. You could say if you count those initial 3 months as well, but more, you could say unofficially it's been 5 or 6 months really that I've doubled down on it as a full-time role. So now it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, right? Because you always wonder whether you made the right decision. Why did you leave a salary? There's a lot of external and internal pressure, and you keep wondering whether you made the right decision. For me, I was very close to finding another job. I tried finding another job while I was trying to build Bali because I thought I made a mistake, right? I thought I was stupid. But thankfully, nobody hired me. Fortunately, unfortunately, nobody really hired me. So I had to double down on Bali in any case. And I did. And now I'm seeing some momentum rolling in. I'm talking to a lot of people. I've got a couple of clients who are really exciting people. So that is something I'm grateful for in the year 2024 because personally and professionally, it was huge for me, right? Because personally, while I was at the Dubai startup, I thought my life was being sucked out of me because I realized that even though the money is really good, it's not really what I want to do. I can't really work under somebody, so I had to start my own thing, and I'm so thankful that I did. So that was the year 2024 for me, sort of like a recap. Nothing too major. It's just like small recap, but I thought it would be interesting to show and tell you people how it went for me. For the year 2025, I have a few plans, not personally, you could say, but professionally. And I'm not going to discuss them right now in the video, obviously, because I want to see them unfold throughout the year. But it's exciting. I'm in a good place, you could say. I'm looking forward to the future. Everything takes time. And if there is one takeaway that I have from the year 2024 that would be the only takeaway is take calculated risks. right? Don't just go and blindly quit your job if you don't have any sort of money in your bank account. Because when I quit my job, I had like at least 6 months of runway. So I knew I could take a risk and I could try this for 6 months. And if it doesn't work out, unfortunately, then I could try to find a job. So if you take a risk, take a calculated risk and don't go in blindly. And that pays off in the long run. And that's what I'm counting on. So yeah, 2024 was great, transformational, ups and downs, but I'm really looking forward to 2025. And yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to it too.